Hi. Hello. Good morning.
Ikaw naman si
Hi,
Mr.
Stopped the construction of the Skyway Extension Project in Muntinlupa following the accident that killed one motorist and injured 6 others. Public. The order takes effect immediately, and the project's crane steel girder collapsed in the northbound lane of the Skyway Extension Project last Saturday, causing a massive gridlock in the East Service Road. President Duterte says he received a list of lawmakers who are engaging in corruption, but he admits that he does not have the authority to investigate them. To tell us more about this as well as the other topics discussed by the President during his latest address, we have Maricel Halili. She is joining us live from Mandaluyong. Good morning, Mase. What exactly did the President have to say about these allegedly corrupt congressmen? And if he cannot investigate, what exactly can he do?
Hi, Charles. During the public address of President Duterte last night, he mentioned that he received reports from the Presidential Anti-Crime Commission, specifically from Commissioner Greco Belhica, about the list of names of congressmen who are allegedly involved in irregular transactions with the government, meaning to say they are entering into a project which they can get commission from that project. So obviously it's a part of corruption that the president wants to end. But the president mentioned last night that it is not part of his jurisdiction to investigate the legislative branch of the government. And so it is not within his power or within his authority to name these congressmen who are allegedly involved in corruption. So what he said last night, he was planning to give the list of these congressmen as well as the projects involved in corruption to the ombudsman, and it's up to the ombudsman to investigate the report.
Suppose we should be finding out in the next few days or weeks who exactly these congressmen are, but then let's shift to the COVID-19 vaccines. With the recent progress of clinical trials, does the government now have a plan for the possible rollout of vaccines in the country, and where are we going to get the funding?
Charles, based on the updates given by Vaccine Czar, Secretary Carlito Galvez last night, he mentioned that we are already checking on at least 17 vaccines against COVID. Out of these 17 vaccines, we have 9 vaccines that are already in phase 3 of clinical trial. Out of these 9 vaccines, we have 4 big companies that are now currently negotiating with the government. This includes Pfizer and Sinovac from China. So the Vaccine Czar, Secretary Galvez, is hoping to sign the Memorandum of Understanding, at least to one of these companies, before the end of December. As to the budget allotted for the vaccine, Secretary Dominguez mentioned that we will have a loan from ADB and the World Bank, or at least we can get some allotted budgets from our allocations. Probably we need to spend at least more or less $25 per vaccine. So we're targeting to purchase more or less 40 million vaccines from probably different companies, and an estimated 73 billion pesos is allotted for that.
Right, hopefully the end of the pandemic is in sight. But then moving on from vaccines, we have the Health Secretary, Secretary Duque, also mentioning something about herd immunity. Could you kindly explain how this might be applicable to the Philippines and whether he said that this is a viable option?
Actually, Charles, based on the standards set by the World Health Organization, to be able to have a herd immunity, we should at least vaccinate 60 to 70% of the total population. So once we achieve this, it means that probably we can consider the country safe. The largest part of the population is already safe from coronavirus.
That's herd immunity taken in context of vaccination. That's well understood, Mase. Thanks for clarifying. But then, what is the update on the expected vaccine trials here in the country?
So, like what Secretary Galvez mentioned last night, at least 4 major companies are now under negotiation with the government. Out of the 17 vaccines that we are eyeing for trial, 5 of these vaccines are now or are planning to conduct clinical trial here in the Philippines. So we're still waiting for the update. Hopefully we can still meet the target to have a COVID-19 vaccine by first quarter of next year.
All right, Mase, Christmas season is fast approaching. How likely will this affect the COVID infections in the country and more?
Secretary Duque of the Health Department mentioned his concerns about that because there is really a possibility of a surge come holiday season because as we all know, the tradition of Filipinos is, we always gather with families and have lunch or dinner together. So in lieu to this, the Health Department will reissue the minimum health standard to remind the public to ensure that there won't be any spread of the virus. Of course, this includes wearing of face masks, face shields, and social distancing.
All right, Mase, thank you. That was Maricel Halili joining us live from Mandaluyong. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Population Commission is expecting a surge of close to 2 million babies by next year. In an interview with 1PH's Sa Totoo Lang, POPCOM Executive Director GP Perez said the population surge in 2021 is an expected effect of the pandemic lockdown. Perez added that 10% of these pregnancies will come from adolescents.
Yung prediction ng UP kasi, it could be 750,000 additional babies during the lockdown. However, hindi naman 100% yung lockdown. So, probably only a third of the expected increase will be there, or might be even lower. But that would bring us to close to 2 million babies next year. Now, 10% of them will be among adolescents. No? Mm-hmm. So, we're a bit worried na yung above the adolescents, yung below 18 o menor de edad, mga 60,000 yan annually. It hasn't really changed in the last 5 years. Pero during the pandemic period, aakit siya to 75,000 na adolescents giving birth next year.
While the President has repeatedly stressed the importance of COVID-19 vaccines, immunization will not be mandatory. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said in a briefing yesterday that vaccination against COVID-19 will not be required for everyone. This, as Roque noted, that only about 60% of the population will have to receive the vaccine to achieve herd immunity. Recall that the recent SWS survey showed that 2 in 3 Filipinos, or 66%, are willing to receive the vaccine. President Duterte visited his father's grave in Davao City on Monday night to commemorate his birthday. The president was accompanied by his longtime aide, Senator Bongo. His father, Vicente Duterte, was also a politician and lawyer who served as governor of the then unified province of Davao. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.